welcome back to When a Gay Girl Meets a Trans Girl. I'm the gay girl, Holly.
And I am the trans girl, Brooklyn. It's funny, for a second there you were like, I'm the gay girl, Holly, and I'm all alone today. Don't need the trans girl, gonna rename the episode. Yeah, so how are you? Very pregnant still.
Yeah, we went to another appointment yesterday. Everything's going fine. My feet are still super swollen.
Oh.
It's a very weird feeling.
Yeah, they look like little...
club feet.
Yes, they do.
Got some cankle going on.
They're big and around. They kind of squishy. If you, like, massage your feet, they kind of squish, which is very weird.
When I walk, they jiggle.
They
like
jiggle.
The top part that's swollen jiggles. It's
Wow.
weird.
And if you've seen any pictures of her, like what we've posted on our Facebook page, you'll see that she is quite a tiny girl, normally. She's giving me a look like, why did you just say normally?
Mm-hmm.
You still are a tiny girl. You still got that like little tiny girl look, but very pregnant in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So what else have you been doing lately? What have we got going on?
Our anniversary is
Yes.
coming up.
So this is our 2-year anniversary married.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about a little bit about the wedding, and she was saying that she doesn't really remember any of it.
We didn't have wedding planners or anything. We did everything. And so the whole day was like a hurricane.
I don't know. I felt like it went through pretty good. I had actually just had my surgery, I think. Was it the week before or 2 weeks before? For my bottom part. So I was not supposed to be up moving around a lot, but I was moving around quite a bit. I remember the end of the night feeling like it burned really bad. So when it got to be pickup time and everybody left, I did a little bit and I was like, I can't move anymore.
I remember me and your parents and mine did a lot of the ending stuff and let you try to chill.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the vehicle and I sat back and put my legs up. And it was only like 20 minutes. You guys didn't do a whole lot of work. It just had to be swept and just some things picked up. But I helped put away the tables and I did a few things with you guys.
Yeah.
But one of these times, maybe the next anniversary, we're going to have us each read out our
Vows.
So you guys can hear what they were.
We totally forgot to to bring our bouquets. Like, we had them, and, like, didn't it take us, like, days or weeks to be like, oh, we didn't do our bouquets?
Yeah. It was it was a while afterwards, like, what?
And her mom, like, made them, so they looked super pretty, and we did not get to... They were on the table for pictures, but, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, I don't know that we would have had a whole lot of room. Both of us were holding the
Vows.
in our hands.
Yeah. Well, we could have had, like, our best people hold them.
Yeah. And then you had special vows for your little step men in your life.
Yeah.
All 4 of the boys.
Yeah.
And I remember just kind of sitting there looking over at them, and they were all kind of just sitting there smiling, listening, very content.
Yeah.
I knew they loved their stepmama. They still do. You're very special to them.
That's good, and I'm happy. Happy we all get along really well. And we formed a good little family.
Yeah, you guys are gamers, just like, you guys are all gamers together, just like each other.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Do you guys have any particular games that you feel like you match really well on?
Well, I know Ark and me and Carson like more of the same games. Ark, No Man's Sky. I got him into ESO. Well, I got him into No Man's Sky too. ESO. But the game that all of us like to play together, that we all are on a good level field, is Minecraft. Like, that was actually when we very first started talking. That was the first game that, like, all 6 of us played together.
Yeah.
And that's still one that we can all get together sometimes and just play.
Years ago, right after my divorce, it was Tatum and I used to play a world. We called it the the castle world. And even now, he's like, can we play that castle world? And it's a world where it's a creative world. But we built this massive castle and this big old wall all around it. And I've showed you that one, right?
Yeah. It was huge. It was crazy.
It is huge.
It was very impressive.
Thank you. Wish I could do a little bit better. I want to do like more to it, but I feel like I'm limited. And I wish I wouldn't have done it in a certain way because like I feel like the biome, the castle got so big it actually went over to 2 different biomes. So if you look at the castle sometimes you can see half of it covered, like half the wall covered with snow and the other half it's just raining. And I'm like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I wish I would have had it closer over where I had it all in the same biome.
But yeah, that's our anniversary and then our gaming stuff together. Family of nerds and little nerdlings.
And have a little nerdling coming very, very, very soon.
And watch, he turns out to be a jock, and we're like, oh.
I know. Probably won't like video games knowing us.
I'd play baseball with him, though. I'd have fun. I mean, my outside me would love that. I'm still very much an outside person.
Yeah. Well,
So,
that's true.
I'll
You'll be throwing the ball back and forth.
Yeah, I'll be content either way.
Yeah. I don't know. I still see him as a gamer. He's going to be just like his mom, I can tell.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
feel like the same games. Anyway.
Minecraft,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Um,
So, before we get on to anything else, I wanted to say congratulations to you.
for me?
For you. And for me.
For what?
For what? We
Oh, I know.
are
guys don't
on
know.
FeedSpot. They had a article that's 100 best LGBTQ podcasts, and we came out number 66.
We made it to the top 100, and we're almost halfway to the top.
Yes, I know. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
So thank you all for checking us out. We love having you on here. We love being able to sit here and tell our stories. Just
Yeah.
talk to you for an hour or 45 minutes-ish.
Thank you.
Yeah. But it says that these are the 100 best LGBTQ podcasts, the best LGBTQ podcasts from thousands of podcasts on the web from around the world and are ranked by traffic, social media followers, and freshness. You're pretty fresh. You know that?
Huh.
I've had a lot of fun doing this. I'm glad that we're in season 2. It's hard to believe that we're this many episodes in.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of fun things this year going on and a lot to share with you all. So, hope you
And-
keep sticking around with us.
And then our subject, well, one of our subjects today is a not so fun thing.
Nope.
Since we've got 9/11 coming up, we were going to discuss, one, we were going to bring in the gay topic, and 2, we were going to discuss where we were when it happened. And then maybe you guys could reflect on yourselves, like where you were, how did it affect you? Like me, it helped inspire me to join the military, to protect people.
Yeah. Well, so 9/11, this podcast is out in 2023, so that's actually going to be on a Monday this year. But it is considered to be Patriots Day. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was set up by George Bush Jr. As a holiday towards all the patriots out there, especially the ones off of 9/11, the ones that helped protect us, the ones that helped save additional lives, and as well as the ones that didn't unfortunately make it. You're the patriots.
And to remember that we are not invincible
I
as a
know.
country.
You know, I used to love flying, and something like that I know that it's more secure now, but something like that has always kind of scared me over the years. Like,
See, I don't even know a life outside of that. Like, for me, I can't believe how chill people say that was. Like, flying, because I've grown up with it just being super strict.
yeah, well, I mean, it's like the kids, they have no idea. They grew up after it happened, so to them, it's like a Pearl Harbor. Yeah, I mean, it was just there when they were born.
Yeah.
And we had to live the world. Now, I had 10 years to your senior, so that means I actually got to experience it a little bit deeper and in different ways than what you did.
Yeah.
And It was pretty crazy. I remember that moment very, 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 very well, and it was a very emotional, very impactful moment in my life. And I still can't believe to this day that I was around for it. But, so I guess I'm going to go into some articles. I don't know. Do you want to read a few of these for me? If you want to. I have a couple of articles pulled up. There's actually a few of them that go into people that belong to the LGBTQ world, whether it's a supporter in some way or someone that might have actually been gay, trans, bi, whatever. So I'm actually going to read this article for the first time with you. I'm going to read the one off of OutFrontMagazine.com, and the article is "The Hidden Queer Story and the Heroes of 9/11." So this came out in September 11th of 2001, so it was the 20-year anniversary. I'll just go over a few of these names here. One was Father Michael F. Judge, and he's actually a Catholic priest who helped support the LGBTQ community. It says here that Judge had spent 40 years with the church working with marginalized communities, particularly those hit hardest with the HIV/AIDS epidemic. And obviously that was clear back in the late 80s, early 90s. It was in a time where priests were best silent on the issue, but Judge was hands-on advocate of the LGBTQ community. Judge was more than just an advocate on behalf of the queer population, but he was a part of it. Father Judge's selflessness is a reminder of the sanctity that the church often overlooks in the LGBTQ community, said James Martin,
I don't know that word.
I don't know this word either. Jewish priest?
Jesuit?
Jewish? I don't know.
Google.
Don't know how to say that. While you look for that word, heaven is filled with LGBTQ people, and all the church has to do is start recognizing this.
Jesuit.
A Jesuit?
A member of the Society of Jesus, a Roman Catholic order of priests founded by Saint Ignatius Loyola, Saint Francis Xavier, and others in 1534 to do missionary work.
Very
The order was zealous in opposing the Reformation. Despite periodic persecution, it has retained an important influence in Catholic thought and education.
Huh.
Learning.
Very nice.
And she grew up going to Catholic school.
I did. I've never heard that word, though, before. Maybe I did, and it's just kind of over my head. What do they do? The little whistle over the head kind of thing? With the hand that flies over your head? Never mind. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, do you want to take the next one here?
The next person?
Yeah. It's, Mike Bingham? Bingham?
Mark Bingham was a passenger aboard United Airlines Flight 93 when it was hijacked. I'm gonna skip that. There's no doubt in my mind that Mark is a hero and did everything in his power to keep the plane from hurting innocent people, says San Francisco resident. Holm believes that Bingham, his former partner, was one of the flight's passengers responsible for foiling the hijackers' plans to ram the plane into another national landmark. He recalls multiple occasions when his boyfriend fought off would-be muggers, even one brandishing a gun.
Wow.
Oh, wait. So this is not confirmed, but hopefully it happened. I mean, I'd rather none of it happened, but yeah.
That's interesting. There's a picture of him. It's sad when you look at these pictures knowing that they last 20 years haven't been with us.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad.
The next one's two guys with what looks to be their baby.
Aw. This is the Bradhorst Gamboa family. Dan and Ron were two opposites that complemented each other in many ways. J.B.
Kempis?
Kempis
I don't know.
Kempis recalls with his dear friends. They may have looked like an unlikely pair. Gamboa was from
Oh,
what?
I'm just reading ahead.
Ugh.
Oh no.
Gamboa and Dan.
Oh, pregnant lady can't read this. That's sad.
Says despite their physical appearance, these two men were undoubtedly made for each other. They had been together for 14 years when their United Flight 175 hit the World Trade Center, killing both of them and their 3-year-old adopted son, David. That poor little... I say that all three of them.
Yeah.
Whew, that's crazy. You know, again, you look at those pictures and those people are gone from this world. You want to get the next one?
This one is Carol Flyzik. She was on her flight home after spending a relaxing mini vacation with her partner of nearly 13 years, Nancy Walsh. Flyzik was a passenger on American Airlines Flight 11, the first of 2 planes that collided with the World Trade Center. The 2 women met on the job. Flyzik moved in with Walsh and her children, who Walsh says cared for Flyzik as if she was their own parent. Walsh is so glad that more publications are starting to share the stories of Flyzik and the other queer Americans killed in the attacks. She was just a wonderful human being who wanted people to accept her for who she was. This would have been very important to her, Walsh says.
Wow. The next one is Pamela Boyce. 43-year-old Pamela Boyce worked as a vice president of the World Trade Center firm. She was working on the 92nd floor when her building was hit by American Airlines Flight 11. So she had recently earned an associate's degree, graduating with stellar marks, and plans to continue her education with a bachelor and then a master's degree. Says, but even with her ambitious career goals, she has always made time for her family. She has loved her 2 nieces and nephew and made sure to be part of their lives. She liked taking time off in the summer to get away to the beach, not from the beach. Some people might, and enjoy the sun with her partner of 6.5 years, Catherine Anello. Those are all. That's really sad. That's a lot of, and I'm sure there's many, many more involved in this. But these are the ones straight out of the article.
Oh, Michael Judge, his name's even on one of the memorial.
I think all of them
statues.
are. I've been to that memorial. Have you been there?
I don't think so.
No. Well, we'll be in New York this next summer and hopefully doing a podcast from New York City.
If you guys haven't been to this website, I'm looking around on it and it looks pretty cool. Outfrontmagazine.com. It's got The Adventures of Vaginoplasty, A Trans Woman's Guide to Healing, Colorado Fall Home Show,
Beers and Queers.
Beers and Queers. Just in time for Comic Con, Queer Superheroes. It's got some neat articles on here. Is it active still?
I don't know.
Huh. Well, even still, if you're sitting around bored, it's got some neat things on it.
Yeah.
For where we were, oh yeah, that article was 2 years old.
This website
Where
last updated this year, so looks like it's still active.
So where were you?
The morning that it happened, it's weird because you kind of had this like weird ambiance in the air. Like that day, even looking back at it, you kind of had this weird fog just from all of it. I ended up going to school that day, and I was in one of my classes, and they were like,
What school? High school, college?
This was freshman year college.
Hmm.
And they were like, hey, you guys can go take your break, because we were taking like a little 15. We walked out into the lobby, and there had just started an article. This was like maybe when did the first one hit?
I was 11 years old. I haven't really read too much into it.
Well, I think
to
this
remember that.
had to have been around 8 o'clock in the morning, because this was really, really, really early.
I know it was morning because we did our morning announcements in the cafeteria.
Okay, so the timeline goes that it's 5:45 a.m. They say the two hijackers passed through the security gate in Portland, Maine. So that's kind of where, and they board a flight to Boston. So that's kind of where we are. Okay, so this will kind of give you an idea. This was 8:46 is when Flight 11 first crashed into the North Tower. So
and weren't they not sure what it was? They thought it might be an accident or something.
They did. So when we first walked out there, it just happened. I remember there was a lobby outside, kind of like a little student center. You had couches everywhere and a big TV on the wall. And we walked out there, me and another friend that were going to school there at the same time. And we walked out to one of the couches, and they were like, this just in from whatever news channel we were watching. And they were talking about how there was a crash in the World Trade Centers. I was like, wow, I was just there like a couple years ago, and I was in that World Trade Center, and it was smoking, and they were like talking about it, and we sat there for it all. And I remember they were talking about it possibly being like on purpose, but they didn't think so. They were considering it to be an accident at that point. And they had video of it going in the background, like just smoking at the time. And then all of a sudden, I remember a plane flying across the screen and hitting into the second one. And I was like, whoa, is that a second one? Did another plane hit? And my friend was like, oh no, they're just replaying that. And I was like, no, they're not. I was like, look, both of them are on fire now. And he was like, I think they're just replaying that. And right about that time is when we started to have to head back. We were probably watching it for another 2 or 3 minutes, which by that time it was 9:03. So that makes about right sense right there, because that was about the 15 minutes from 8:46 to 9:03. And we went back to the class, and there was like 4 or 5 people in there. A lot of people, when the second one hit, a lot of people are like, screw this, I'm out of here. Like, I'm leaving. But there was only a handful of people in the class. And we sat down, and she started talking a little bit. She talked for about 5 minutes, and then she walked out to the hallway, and she came back in, and she's like, you know what? It's not even worth doing this right now. She was like, I'm dismissing class. And so we ended up leaving. I ended up walking out to the lobby and watching for like another half hour maybe. And I was like, I'm going to head home. So I went home. My mom was home. And I was like, have you been watching TV? And she was like, no. And then we ended up turning on TV for her. And I was like, we're under attack. Somebody's blowing up our buildings in New York. And we sat there watching it for a while. And at this point, it probably had to be about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30, I think at the latest. And I remember having my video camera sitting on the end table. And I picked it up and actually recorded a few moments in that. I think I had about 3 minutes that I recorded off that day, and it was showing the live broadcast of the news that was happening. And then at that moment, they were talking about how they were gonna be canceling all the flights. So I remember walking outside, looking into the air, being like, wow, there's no flights out here, which is not very common for being in Wichita, since we're the air capital of the world. We have airplanes landing all over the place. So that's pretty much about it. I remember shortly after, like, I was going up to work, which was at Circuit City at the time, who no longer exists, and I had to get gas, and there were long, long, long lines, and I was like, wow, I'm not going to do this. And then somebody else was walking by. He's like, hey, if you're going to expecting to get gas, the police are going to come around here and make you move. And they were like, you need to pull your fuse out of the little meter. And I was like, this isn't even worth it. So I like just pulled out and like took off. But we ended up going to work, and They ended up shutting down after just a couple of hours because nobody had been in there all day. But they had all the TVs going and all the broadcasts. We were just standing there watching the news the whole time, which was crazy.
Yeah.
But that was my time. How about yours? What happened on 9/11/2001 in Holly's World?
I was out in Virginia. I was in elementary school. I was 11. And we were in the morning announcements in the cafeteria. And then I remember they sent us home because something bad happened. And then when I got home...
You didn't know? They didn't tell you? They just said you're going to be going home?
I don't recall if I just don't remember, but I know they didn't go into detail because, I mean, looking back, they probably thought that our parents should explain it to us.
Yeah, it's more for the parents to discuss with the kids.
But I remember I think my mom came and got us. Or the buses took us. I don't remember. But I remember getting home and my mom was like, wait, were we in Virginia? No. How old was I?
Well, if you're 11 years old and this is 2001...
It was Virginia. Anyway, my mom, I saw her and she was crying and we were like, what is going on? And she had the news on and she said that there might be some bad people that are attacking America right now. And so we just kind of sat there and watched it with her for a little bit. And I remember I felt a little scared, but I felt mostly like just sad for those people kind of thing.
So that was just kind of a fog to you as well, since you were much younger.
Yeah.
What grade were you in when you were 11? What age is that? Is that 5th grade?
I believe I was in 5th grade.
Did you guys talk a lot about it afterwards?
At school?
Yes.
I don't recall. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, your family being in the military, did anything special happen with your family at all?
I don't remember.
You don't remember any of that?
My dad was deployed a lot of our childhood, so if he had deployed again, it wouldn't have been something like significant to me. He was gone a lot.
Do you remember anything that your father would have said about all this? I know you were around your mom mostly.
Yeah, and he's not a huge talker or anything, so he wouldn't have really said anything. I don't recall. I don't even know if he was there for that because I don't remember him being there.
Yeah. Well, we'll be in New York City this, what is it going to be? May of 2024. But we will be visiting the World Trade Center Memorial when we're there. You've never been there, but it's something that I've been to. It is very emotional. It's very powerful knowing that, again, being older than her, I've actually been in New York with those World Trade Centers there, and I have memories of walking up the steps. I actually have a couple of pictures of me in front of the doors of one of the World Trade Centers and going inside of them.
I know you can see them in older movies.
Yeah. Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
That's one. It's also pretty interesting. You had shows like Friends that never really talked about it, but those were shows that were set in New York. And when they used to do the pan across the city with the camera, they used to show the World Trade Centers. And then all of a sudden, just one episode, they'd pan across and they wouldn't be there. And I just thought it'd be really powerful for them to be able to have one less comedic episode where they have to deal with the emotions of that happening.
Yeah.
I think that's something that we all have to face. Because I'm sure we live in a quite horrible world in many ways, and I'm sure this is not the last one.
it's good to reflect on it. It's good to remember, as I said, that we're not invincible, that we do need to do what we can to keep ourselves safe, and if we're willing and able, stand up and try to protect people that can't protect themselves. Or if you're not able to do that, then just helping here, or I don't know, send care packages to those that can. That definitely was nice.
Yeah. Just do what you can to protect others out there. What did Spock say in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan?
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Or the one.
Huh?
Well, I think
I
that
kept
can...
falling asleep during that.
Yeah, well, we had to watch that like 6 times. Like every 10 minutes was a new day. So I guess we'll move on. Do you have a gay gaming topic? Gay gaming.
Guess what game finally came out?
What game is that, Holly?
Starfield.
Starfield.
And we all know I'm a huge Bethesda fan. So, Starfield, I remember them announcing it back on, I think it was 2018, 2017. I think it was E3. I don't know. I think they don't call it that anymore. Anyway, but I started playing it yesterday on Game Pass because it's on Game Pass right now if you want to play it for free. And if you don't have Game Pass, it's cheaper than buying the whole game, at least for now. I'm probably going to end up buying the game, but I just want to, it's a whole new idea from them. So I was like, I'm going to wait for Game Pass, which I love that they did that. It's very good marketing on their part. Anyway, so it plays kind of very loosely like No Man's Sky mixed with typical Bethesda game. You get to fly a ship, you get companions, you get to hoard everything that you could possibly find, which is why I have not gotten very far in the game. I'm going to like my third little planet thing, and yes, you do, there's like 1,000 planets. You do get guns, you do get melee weapons. I haven't seen, I'm wondering if there's going to be something like energy, kind of like instead of magic, maybe an energy thing, but you start out like mining an asteroid and then stuff goes down, and I'm thinking I'm going to be a pirate because there's different factions, and yes, you can steal other spaceships, and I'm so excited for that. But right now I'm killing the pirates, so I'm kind of like, don't feel bad guys, I'll help you soon, kind of thing. But for the gay part, they do let you romance any of the 4 companions. There's 2 males, 2 females. They don't explicitly say that they go one way or the other. It's just they go either way. And then I was reading, and I found on GameRevolution.com. Hold on a second. It's Starfield Companion Sexual Orientation, Who's Straight, Gay, Bi. It was written by Jason Faulkner, August 31st, 2023. And he went over all the stuff I just mentioned, but the next part I thought was interesting. Does Starfield provide a nuanced exploration of LGBTQ identities within its narrative? And so far, it's a no. And by that they mean the game maintains a neutral stance on sexuality and does not engage in in-depth discussions or acknowledgement of hetero, bi, or homosexuality, which is interesting. We do like to go into that sometimes because we're like, these people's lives exist. But I've noticed this game is super inclusive. Like, there are a lot of Asians, a lot of like African Americans, like, and very little amount of white people I've noticed. So it's interesting. I don't know if it's maybe that planet I was on, but I like that they're including everybody kind of thing. But back to the nuanced exploration,
Where they don't like all look the same on every planet.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I was busy hoarding, so I really haven't traveled that much. So we'll find out. But I'm thinking maybe since it's like a little bit in the future, that maybe it's kind of like Star Trek, like everybody's just everybody, and there doesn't have to be a huge unique story to being gay or anything like that. Like it's just, oh, whatever you like, so and so, which I kind of like that. I kind of appreciate it. You do. What was it?
Do you know if they have any expansion packs or anything coming out anytime soon? Maybe right for the holidays? Or is there nothing on that yet?
I don't know about that. I know that they have a premium version, which is like $100, and they've got the normal one's like $70, and then the other one is, I think it was like $80 or something. No, 60 or $70. It's gonna cost you a bit of money. But so far I'm having fun. They say that you get to like mod your ship, which I'm gonna have fun doing that. And yes, you do get to fly and pilot your ship. It is not like No Man's Sky fully, but you will, if you played that game, you won't be as lost when trying to learn how to fly your spaceship. And if you have played, there's a Star Trek knockoff game on Xbox, but a lot of space games you do it. Like, I think Eve even? You did it on Eve? No, Star Trek, the MMO, Star Trek Online. How you, like, change your, like, where you're putting your energy output to. You can do, like, your engines or your shield, other stuff like that. You do monitor stuff like that while you're flying your ship. So there is a little bit of that going on. And then the sky is a little gray, but I'm hoping that on different planets it'll look totally different. I mean, there's 1,000 planets, so it's gotta. And there is scanning. Like, you scan the animals, you scan the ores, you get money for scanning and discovering things. There's a lot of little things that are gonna keep you away from doing the main quest line.
It sounds like it's a lot like the other game.
Yeah, it's fun. It is only single player.
That's the one thing that keeps me from being like, dang, I'm gonna get it. I want to play with someone. I want to be able to get involved with the game with someone. We can go travel planets together or whatever. So, I don't know.
There's more story in this, though, and there's actual quests and stuff. It's a little bit more structured, unlike No Man's Sky, where they kind of just plop you there. But I like the mystery. They're both their separate own great things. But, like, this is like Fallout 4. This is just a game that you play, and you get submerged into its world. I mean, we could still play, like, at the same time kind of thing and be like, hey, what did you do here? Oh, I did this. Oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? Jelly bean?
True. I don't know.
But yeah, that's gay gaming.
Gay gaming.
Gay gaming.
Well, I think that's it for tonight.
Star Trek Lower Decks is out today.
Yep, we're recording this on Thursday night, so we're going to be watching the Chiefs play tonight, the Kansas City Chiefs, on the opening of the NFL season, 23-24 season. And then we're going to watch...
I'll have to wait to watch my Star Trek till tomorrow.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'll be too sleepy. I'm going to fall asleep.
Oh, we'll see.
I'm going to fall asleep during the football.
Maybe. More than likely. Anyway. Well, we'll see you guys later. We appreciate you hanging with us, and thanks again for making us number 66. Let's get out the whips, number 1.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us on our show. Don't forget to check out our other shows wherever podcasts are available. And if you're in the position to help our podcast grow, please join us at patreon.com/ggirltgirl. And check out our Facebook and Instagram page for more updates and messages at gaygirl/transgirl. And if you're joining us on YouTube, please hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you.